Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a love themed card to share with you using the Partners in Adventure from my favorite things. So as soon as I saw this sentiment, I wanted to create this specific card. It's a really simple one, but I just think that it has a huge impact, so that's good. So first of all, I've taken a piece of Strathmore Bristol Smooth and I'm going to stamp out two images from this stamp set. Really simple, and I'm going to stamp out that eyes with Tumbled glass because that's the color that I'm going to use on that one. And then the seal I will stamp out using shaded Lilac because I'm going to do some purples on the seal. And this one is one of the lightest that I have. So that worked perfectly. So I'm doing some no-line coloring today, and it's not a long video because there are only two images, so that's handy. But I'm also using Dusty Concord for the seal as well because I just needed a color that was a bit spicy and just was going to change everything up. So that's that. I'm first starting with the eyes. As always, I barely have any water on my paintbrush. I take that ink, I add it to the edges where I want the most shadow to be, and then I create a damp paintbrush to drag that color towards the rest of the image. And that's what I'm doing. And for the seal, I will be adding lots of layers until I'm happy with the depth and shadow created. Now that these images are finished, I can later on use the matching dyes, but first I'm going to start with my background. So for the background, I have taken a piece of Neenah and I'm going to die cut the biggest basic rectangle by my elephant. So before I start blending, I am first going to mask off the edges to reserve that stitch detail, and then I will take the Drifts and Hills stencil by MFT to create my water and to do some heavy ink blending. So for the water, I am going to keep it with a lot of purple tones, and these combinations I hadn't used before, so it was quite a struggle to get the blending as I wanted it to, but it worked out in the end. It's a really bright and vibrant sea as I wanted it to be, so that's what I was going for. Because this is water, I thought about just adding a few water droplets, but then again, this is Neenah, so it's really important to dab it off really quickly because Neenah cannot handle water really well. So I have done that, and then I decided that I wanted to add some hearts to the water. I wasn't really sure how I was going to do that, but then I realized that I had this Love is in the Air stencil by MFT as well, and I'm just going to use my NUVO Glimmer Paste Moonstone to add these hearts, and then there will be a lot of hearts in the sea. So I'm just taping everything down, and then I will use my palette knife to spread some Moonstone. Really important is to rinse your stencil as quick as possible after you apply the glimmer paste, because otherwise it can dry on top of your stencil and then it will get really hard to get it off. So I just recommend once everything is on there, just rinse it off immediately and then you can continue with the rest. I set this panel aside to dry, and I also die cut my two images. Once the panel was dry, I could start on the sentiment. So for the sentiment, I wanted it to follow the lines of the water, and I am going to show you how I do this. There are a lot of ways of bending your stamps, and this is the only one that works for me. I recreate the shape of my backgrounds at the outside of my misty. So now I have used the stencil, so I just can use that one. And I also have those stitch details, therefore I'm using some purple tape. And it's just making sure that it is aligned perfectly, and then you can follow the shape on the outside of your misty on the inside. So this way it can be perfect to stamp it out onto your card itself. So because I've used purples, I am going to use Eggplant. It's an ink from Concord&9th. And I just thought that keeping it to the purples would really be lovely because it matches perfectly. So I stamped it out, and once this was stamped out, I could add my images. Therefore, I'm going to use some thin foam squares. And then I will finish off this panel using some, or actually one, crystal clear hard droplets by Little Things from Lucy's Cards. And once that's all on there, I can add this panel to a card base, and this really simple card is finished. So I don't know what you think about this card. Have you ever made a purple loved card or not? I just really love this sentiment. My love for you is deep, and then with the huge part of the water on this card, with all those hearts inside of it, I just thought that it fitted perfectly with the sentiment. I had a lot of fun creating this card, and especially the ink blending that took a while, but I'm really happy with the end result. If you like this card, you can always give this one a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I will come back to you as soon as possible. For the rest, I'm hoping that you have a wonderful day left, and I will see you soon with another card. Bye!